Today we're doing a review of the new Solo Stove 2.0. What are the upgraded features and is it worth upgrading? Stay tuned and we'll get right into the details. I'm Scott from Bartlow's Barbecue. Thanks for watching, and hopefully today is going to be helpful for you as you learn about the Solo Stove. I've had the Bonfire 1.0 and I currently have the Yukon 1.0, but I'm going to show you pretty much the big differences with the new feature that's inside, which is all about how to make cleanup really easy at the end of your fire. So it's a removable ashtray versus a welded version on 1.0. So we're going to get into that, so definitely stay tuned. So let's get this unboxed, show you what it looks like, and show you the highlight of that new feature. We got this thing unboxed. Let's highlight the key features of this Bonfire, especially if you're new to Solo Stove. So every Solo Stove, no matter which size, is gonna have the ring. Then this new 2.0 version is gonna have a removable base. And then we are going to also have the removable ash pan. And I'll show you the inside as I'm talking. So 3 pieces on 2.0 versions is gonna have the ring, obviously the Solo Stove itself. Then you're gonna have the ash pan, the very bottom. Then you're gonna have the base. You add the ring and you're ready to go. And then you also have the stand that it can sit on. So it gets cool to the touch even when this is blazing hot and you have it on grass, or if you have it on pavers or whatever your situation might be. So this is the key features of the Solo Stove. I find that it's really light and portable, and it also comes with a carrying bag that you're able to sit in it and just make it really easy and portable, especially the Bonfire version. Yukon, you can definitely do it, but it's a little bit bigger and heavier. So those are the key features. So let's talk through the differences between 1.0 and 2.0. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this over to my Yukon 2.0, excuse me, my 1.0 Yukon, and show you the differences on the inside. And then we'll start talking through, is it worth the upgrade? All right, friends, you could definitely already tell by appearance the differences in size of the Yukon, and they now even have a Canyon size, which is, I believe, 30 inches. And then this is, I believe this is 18 inches or something close. I'll put it in the description and on screen if that was incorrect. But just by appearances alone, that's an obvious difference. I'll also put on the screen showing you the inside. Right here on the Yukon, it's got welded in the base with holes in it to get airflow. But what happens over time is whenever you're doing a burn and it dies out, all the ash can get clumped up, especially if you're not cleaning it on a frequency, weekly, whatever use it may be, it can get clumped up. And then you really got to take this whole thing, roll it, and empty it in your grass or in the proper manner, obviously, whenever it's cold. And so from the use of this, it's been a while since I've used this. You can see that I've got all the ash clumped up in there. So as we think about the Bonfire or even the Yukon or Canyon 2.0 version, it's gonna be really nice to have this feature. One of the things I like about the removable base, it's got 2 holes here, so it makes it really easy. Obviously, whenever it's cool, to put your hands in there like this, remove it, take the ash pan out and dump it, and then you're ready to go. Over the course of time, you might get, 2 to 5%, ash in other crevices that you might still need to roll and dump this or use an ash vacuum to remove. But overall, I think 90–95% of the time, you're gonna be able to make this super easy for cleanup. So those are the key differences between 1.0 and 2.0 is the removable base, removable ash pan, which is pretty stellar. Now, Solo Stove in general, no matter if it's 1.0 or 2.0, is super efficient, and it gets what's called a secondary burn, which is why it has holes in the top. So whenever it gets the initial ignition with your firewood and then it starts roaring and gets going, it gets that secondary oxygen flowing and kind of rotating like this, and it gets a really clean burn. That's why they call it almost like a smokeless fire pit, and you don't smell like a traditional fire pit. So it's a great advantage to purchasing a Solo stove. Overall, I'm a big fan. So what we're going to do now is we are going to light up the Bonfire 2.0 and just see how easy it is to clean up the ash and go from there. I'll be using my Grill Blazer grill torch, and this thing can light your charcoal or your firewood in less than 60 seconds. It's awesome. I'll have a code if that's something you're interested in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this firewood going. While we're letting this Bonfire 2.0 smoke and get to ash, let's talk about price point. The new 2.0s, this is on sale right now for $224, and the Yukon 2.0 I believe is $399. Now these can fluctuate as they run deals and sales all the time, so it could go up and back down, but current price here in November 22 is $224 and $399 for 2.0 for the Yukon. So that's a quick update on the price, and then let's talk through if we feel like it is worth it or not. You might be wondering, how does the Solo Stove perform in general? Does it give out kind of radiant heat? Does the heat go out this way, or does it purely go up? The way it's designed, most of the heat goes up. And if you have a roaring fire and you're in that secondary burn and you've got tons of logs in here, you could stand 6 feet out and I can feel the heat right here. But for the most part, the heat is going up. If you're really close and you're standing up around the fire pit, man, you are golden. If you're sitting down, laid back, and you're semi-close to it, you definitely can feel it. But I would say if you have more cold weather throughout the year and you're sitting more in a laid back position, you might want to get the deflector accessory that pushes that heat out towards your feet and your body, and that's a great accessory. Now, a lot of their accessories are expensive, but just like anything, when you make an investment, you're making an investment long term, not in the short term. So that's a few things I want you to consider, is how the heat is producing right now. With just 4 logs standing right here, I feel really warm, and I step back, I'm still feeling the heat really good. If I'm in a position where I'm sitting down and I'm right here just pretty much 2 feet away, I'm feeling the heat really nice. So if we were doing s'mores or something like that with the kiddos, this would be a great spot to be. So those are a few things for you to consider when it comes to the performance. All right, we put out the fire. It is to its ashes, and I let it cool off a little bit. I was a little impatient and I let it cool off, but it was still warm. But I wanted to finish up this video, but I had my heat gloves on. I dumped all the remaining ash from the base that you're able to remove, dump it into the ash pan, and then you're able to discard when it's completely cool, which is what you're supposed to do. So anyways, I found that process to be really smooth and really easy. So let's talk about, is it worth it? So at the $224 price versus the current, I think 1.0, I actually think 1.0 is even a little bit more expensive. I would say it is worth it if you've never owned a Solo stove and you want something that's going to last a long time. It comes with the stand, it comes with the carrying case, it comes with that removable base. That is a great feature. It makes your cleanup, no matter if you're portable or staying predominantly in your backyard, it makes it so much easier. So at that price, I know there's other brands out there that are competitive, but if you're really interested in the Solo Stove brand and all the accessories that it comes with, at the 224 price, I think it is worth the purchase. Now, if I had the 1.0, would I upgrade to the 2.0 if I already owned it? Most likely not. So the Yukon 2.0, I am not going to upgrade. I like my Yukon and don't want to make that type of investment personally. And if you're choosing between a Bonfire and the Yukon, make the decision based on how many people you're going to be surrounding the fire on an ongoing basis. If you're going to have large group gatherings and parties all the time, go Yukon. If it's just going to be 2 to 4 people, go Bonfire. And especially the Bonfire is really easy to move. It's their most popular one. You can take it camping, front porch, whatever it may be, tailgating. It's just easy. And then they also have the Ranger version that's great for camping and tailgating as well. So those are just my 2 cents. I think if you're buying it for the first time, that $224 price for what you get is a great price, and especially compared to the 1.0 version. And then they've got some great accessories and even an exciting accessory that I can't share yet that's coming out soon for the Bonfire that's going to make cooking so much more fun. And there's a great cooktop they already have, but there's a new feature that's coming soon that you're definitely going to want to stay tuned, watching the channel, subscribing, and I'm going to hopefully showcase that as soon as I'm able to. So friends, I hope this review of the Bonfire 2.0 was helpful for you. And if you have questions or even tips on what you've done using the Solo Stove, put it in the comments, let me know. A few other things that I'm just thinking about. For the Bonfire, it's about a 16-inch cut wood is what you need for the Bonfire, and over time as you cook on it, you will get that patina look. That is normal as well. So those are just a few last minute thoughts I was thinking about that you might want to know. But from my backyard to yours, less hate, more love, good barbecue. We'll see you next time.